Hey, it's Jordan here with Max Alvarez of Real News and fellow Breaking Points partner. So I was just talking to a labor guy and I was asking, organized labor has been in the wilderness for quite some time, and now it's all of a sudden like the hibernation is over. What is this for you? Because you're a journalist, but you're also obviously, an activist, and this has not been the case to be able to cover such solidarity, camaraderie, and actual victories.
Yeah, it's still wild to kind of wrap my head around, right? I think we all have a bit of whiplash. And it's funny because I was, I'm here for the Real News, and we're both doing work for Breaking Points. Congrats to you as well. Congrats to Status Quo for all the incredible work that y'all have been doing. You've been on the ground, putting in the work, and it's really, really important stuff. So I'm glad you guys are getting the recognition that you deserve, and thank you for doing this work. I mean, that's really what it's going to take, right? I mean, I think we should all be somewhat kind to ourselves because we're entering very, new territory for our generation, right? The labor beat has been kind of kept alive barely by, diehard folks like Sarah Jaffe, Kim Kelly, Stephen Greenhouse, they've been keeping it alive even when it wasn't popular. And now that we're seeing this kind of worker uprising, those of us who are also trying to help, right, are kind of flooded with stories, and people are reaching out to us wanting us to cover it. So we all got to do the best that we can. We all got to learn as much as we can, and we all have to listen to the workers, and lift up their voices as much as we can. Again, it's why I appreciate the work that you guys do and why I do what I do at the Real News and Working People and now Breaking Points. I think that what we saw here today, what we've seen continuously with the Amazon workers, with the Starbucks workers, with workers all across the country who were unionizing, even folks who are quitting their jobs, folks who are going on strike, right, is that there's not necessarily one reason why people are kind of acting this way, but there are, I think, a lot of shared concerns.
Let me ask you, because you guys have kind of done a tour de force. You were up in Albany meeting with politicians. You've met with labor leaders, this and that. Did you get the impressions meeting with politicians in Albany and elsewhere that they were kind of like, oh, let me check the box and jump on the winning horse now? Or that they were sincere that they are actually supporting you guys? Because a lot of politicians full of shit, most of them. And they're just looking for a photo op now that you're victorious, but kind of nowhere to be found before that.
I feel like, that support we got in Albany, it was good, but at the same time, it's like, all right, let's just go in and, to say that we supported, which is okay too. At the end of the day, we want the labor movement to strive. It's been on a decline for a long time, and now that we've won, we're the pioneers, and, I'm just glad that they're giving us our respect, and we're just going to move forward, and hopefully everyone stays on board, not just for the moment. Yeah, well, I would say it's a new day. Black and brown should be leading, because we're the heart and soul of this movement, and I'm just glad that it's heading in the right direction. When they called us thugs, I wasn't surprised. This is things that I've heard throughout my life. So I'm not surprised that Amazon would hire racist union busters to talk to workers and convince them to not vote for a union. They did the same thing in Bessemer. It's a little more racist down there. So I guess they were that arrogant to feel like they were going to work up here. But New York's a little different. Workers are going to speak out and they're going to voice their opinions, and they know their worth. And that's why it's very important what we're doing, and I don't think that has any effect anymore.
Amazon has pretty much doubled and tripled down on the union busting here?
Yeah, I mean, so, after our historic victory at JFK 8, some of us naively thought that we'd come into LGJ 5 victorious and it'd be an easy win for us, and we were wrong about that. Amazon is really angry that we won JFK 8, which is no surprise, and so they're really determined to isolate JFK 8 and make it harder for us to win a contract, because they know we're going to have more leverage the more buildings we organize. So LGJ 5 is just as important as JFK 8. It's organizing more buildings is going to be key to us winning a contract with Amazon, and it's going to be, LGJ 5 will be the second Amazon warehouse to unionize in the United States. We will be the first sort center in the U.S. to unionize, and it's a show of how we can continue to organize new buildings, and JFK 8 won't be alone in the fight. Like, we have to keep organizing new buildings.
What has been the tactics Amazon's been using?
Absolutely. Scare tactics all around. They've been spreading lies. They've been spreading rumors. They've been telling people all sorts of wrong information about what's going to happen if we unionize. People are afraid to talk to us in the building. They're afraid they're going to get fired if they talk to us. I don't think they've explicitly threatened anyone, but they get away with it by floating the rumor. And because it's a smaller building, rumors spread quickly. And so, they've really tried to fight us, and they've tried to fight us dirty. And they've done it in a way that it's kind of hard to trace back to them directly. They let, anti-union workers do their dirty work for them so that they can keep their hands clean.
What do you think about her showing up after the criticism?
No, that's just, that's the step in the right direction. There's a lot of controversy that's out there, but I told her it's all about the workers, and this is once again a marathon, not a sprint. Meaning that it doesn't matter when you get involved, just get involved. Don't just talk about it, don't just tweet about it. You got to show up, and I think that was what she did today, showing up for these workers. That's a step in the right direction. And we still going to hold her even more accountable now, because we want to make sure that she's following through, not just showing up.
Yeah. Talk about you won 2 or 3 weeks ago. About a week ago, you said over 100 warehouses have reached out to you, interested. Are there more warehouses reaching out now? And talk about this particular warehouse, LDJ5, because it's obviously smaller. Amazon has continued the union busting since your victory there, correct?
Yeah. This is the beginning of a revolution. We've been contacted by every building in the country. And then beyond that, other countries as well. And, what we want to do eventually after we get recognized, we want to start our national call and have a conference where we can set everybody up in the country to start organizing their facility. Because there's no stopping here. This is just the beginning. This is day one. And it's going to be after this election, after we win again, that you're going to see a revolution nationwide.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am here at a block party celebrating the release of Steven Donziger after 993 days of house arrest and federal prison. I'm here with Nidia, and you have been following this closely, and we were just talking. Now we need to ensure he's really free.
Yes, because they have been persecuting him. There's been no let-up. And the amount of money that the Chevron has to just pour into this against an individual, a lawyer. But there's reasons for doing it, not just because of the faked, trumped-up things that they said about him. It's to send a message to all lawyers who are going to fight for issues that are up against big money. And I'm an old lady, and I see what's happening as everything gets closer and closer to the crunch. They're going to be nastier than ever. So we have to support him. He's just a beautiful person.
Yes, they are still suffering in Ecuador, but let's make this clear. They violated laws and polluted 31 countries. They owe reparations over $50 billion that they still owe. And the fight in Ecuador is just one fight of many others. And Chevron is a big corporation. They need to be held liable. And, Steven Donziger is just one part of the equation. There was an injustice perpetrated against him. But essentially, we need to still hold Chevron accountable. And that's why we are here to raise awareness. And we're going to continue raising awareness. Either I, as an individual, as a community organizer in Queens. I'm from a part of Queens, Corona, Queens, that has the biggest population of Ecuadorians in the country. And we're still going to be doing this work on so many levels. Big corporations are still violating the laws. A lot of big corporations are getting massive tax subsidies in order for them to operate. They aren't paying federal taxes, which is money that should be going into our, local infrastructure and so forth. And right here at this action today, we had Chris Smalls. He's a big figure now. He organized Amazon workers to create a union. And I think I'm happy to be part of a generation where we continue to call out the rich and powerful, where we continue to hold big corporations accountable, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Chevron, and there are so many others.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.